Aloha, lovelies. Welcome back to the Intuitive Eye. I'm here with your first breakout session with my lovely friend, Marsha Wald. She's a master in numerology, Reiki, and so many other modalities such as Feng Shui. And she brings that to her clients to create a life of unlimited potential and life. So happy to have you join us today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Wonderful. So as we spoke in the intuitive eye, we are we're looking and living in a very interesting time in the world. And there's always a gift. There's always something here for us. There's always a reason. So, first of all, Marsha, I wanted to ask, in this very incredibly momentous time, what do you feel is the greatest gift for humanity?
So, during this time, the greatest gift to humanity right now is the ability to be still, where we are not necessarily forced, but yeah, forced to stop and really face our issues, really look at ourselves, really look at our life. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts, because if we can't look at where we're at and do a fair assessment, then how do we move forward? And, as I've said, it's over and over. 2020 is the year of building structures. It's a 4 year. It's all about building solid foundations and solid structures to take us to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's kind of an interesting thing because I think for most people, they're actually feeling like their foundation's crumbling, like
Mhm.
everything's falling apart. So how can they actually use this year to actually build that solid foundation?
So it starts with to where you're at. So I am a visual person. I make lists. Journaling helps. So do a life assessment. Every day checking with yourself. How am I feeling? What is it that's breaking apart right now in my life? Let's say it's your job. Okay, so right now you're unemployed. Ask yourself, was this the job that I truly needed to be doing? Was I following my passion while I was doing this? Am I happy when I'm at work? And then, you answer these questions, and then you look back at, what are my gifts? What are the things that I like doing? Did I like writing? Do I like dancing? Do I like singing? Do I like talking one-on-one with people? Do I like to give guidance? And so when you ask yourself these questions, it will help you to kind of see where your gift lies. And then as you start doing that, God will help you to start getting the next step. Because once you start something, that's the universe way of saying, okay, all right, she's showing up. And then you do that one thing and another thing. And then as you do one thing at a time, the other stuff will show up. And then by the time this is all over, if you keep at it, you will have your answers. Definitely you will have your answers. This is a time where it is such a powerful gift right now to get us onto the path that we're supposed to get on. This is so amazing. I'm excited about that. So yeah, start one thing.
Mm. So, one of the great things about these breakout sessions is they get to be intimate. They get to know a little bit about you. So tell me something in your life that is actually coming forward in this energy that is actually allowing itself to break down and then be birthed.
Well, for the longest while, I have a typical not even 9 to 5. I have a schedule that was, way out there. And for me, having done a vision board and created the life that I wanted, and it's there, but not having the time to enjoy it. Like, for example, I have this lovely home, and I don't spend enough time because I'm always at my other job and going 10, 12 hours there. And so when I finally made the decision to start to share my gift with the world, I kept asking for more time. Like, if I could just have some more time to do my gift. And so this came, and I thought I would have been working throughout this, and I actually got laid off. And it's such a blessing because I do get some time to really devote to my passion and to do all the little things. You know, I keep a calendar, so I keep on track of all the things that I told Spirit that I would do if I had the time. So now Spirit gave me the time, so I need to follow through to show that I am a woman of my word. So.
That's really important to follow through because, yes, sometimes when something out of the blue like this happens, you're kind of thrown a bit, and then maybe kind of like some kind of malaise kind of kicks in, or, you know, maybe some inaction. Whereas this is actually the time to generate, this is the time to create, this is the time to look at everything, as you said, and go forward. So you talked a little bit about your passions and your gifts, and in speaking to people, what is it that you are here to share with people? What is it? What is your gift? Let people know you.
People know me as the person to come to for advice and clarity.
Mhm.
And so this has been something that I've been freely given from my time in ministry. I served in ministry full time for 3 years while also handling a corporate career. And one of the takeaway that I got was my pastor then always said that we're needed out in the world. You know, everybody keeps hiding in the church thinking, oh, I have my gift, I need to be in the church. But we're needed to be out there, because only when you're out there can you really spread the word and put into practice your gift and your calling. So I've been the person that, you know, people will come to with various things, you know, to talk about. The tools that I use in my life for success is what I'm sharing with others. Numerology, as I said, plays a really big part in my life because numbers have always spoken to me. I can just know a lot by a person just by their birthday and the numbers that make up their birthday. And it helped me. So for example, I will share this with you. I'm a number 5, and 5s are very impulsive and they want freedom. Freedom is the biggest thing, and change and excitement. They get bored easily. When I learned about this trait of mine, it gave me so much clarity of why, when I'm in a stable position, I want to immediately change it. Why I felt the urge like, oh, I just drop and travel. However, it does have its good. Because of that, wanting to be free and travel, that was what propelled me to leave from Jamaica to America. It was what propelled me to leave from Chicago to Maui, which Maui, I was destined to be here. So when you know the negative and the positive, or nothing is negative, let's say when you know the advantages and how to work with it, it helps you to get on your path. Another example could be someone who is in their 7th year. This is 2020, it's the year of foundation 4, but it's also your 7th personal year. And as a number 7, it's all about the spirit and completion and wanting to spend time with divine connection in order to get you to the next step, which is the 8th year. And you may decide, oh, I just want to go traveling. But your desire to travel there, it's not in alignment. So you may find you start making trips, plans for trips, and it's falling apart. Or you get to your first destination, it's just not as pleasurable as you experienced. That's where I come in. So when I do your chart or your monthly or your annual chart, I'll tell you, okay, April is your month for a number 7 where you need to be still. So do not travel within that year. And that would have saved you so much heartbreak and disappointment had you known that simple thing. So,
So the whole planet is in a 7 right now. Stay your ass home. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. All
Yeah.
right. So beyond the numerology,
Mhm.
how do you assist your clients into expanding into that unlimited potential?
So how I help my clients,
Mhm.
I do your chart. I know exactly where you're at, the number. I give you pointers of the things to look out for that will try to sway you off track. And that's where my coaching comes in, because I'm there to walk with you through this. Again, you, it's for those who are ready and, really ready to do the work. And if sometimes you're like there and not quite there, I work with you based on the level that you're at.
Hmm.
So that is what I offer, like to really be there with you through the process, and
Hmm.
to give you that intuitive guidance as needed while listening to, where you're at and what you're telling me.
Hmm. Yes. And Marsha actually helped me understand this because, when I think about things like numerology and Feng Shui, I think of them maybe as more like things that were interesting, but not that I really paid attention to. So it is really interesting when you delve into that. So, for instance, with the Feng Shui, how could you help a client set up their life for success?
So feng shui deals with the direction. I do the compass feng shui that deals with the directions: north, south, east, west, southwest, southeast, northwest, and also the elements, the five elements that are aligned: air, water, earth, fire, metal. And so, for example, you may be having issues in your love life. The first thing I would do is find out the direction of your home. And then I would do an assessment to find out your directions in your home that align with particularly your love area. The Southwest is your love area. So for example, I had a client, I would say, where they had their cat litter box in their love corner, not knowing. And
I
so
can think how that would show up.
right? The rib. Yeah. Yeah. So I would help you with that. So whatever, when we do an assessment, based on what you tell me, I can have an idea intuitively of where needs to be addressed in your home. If it's your money corner, and again, you have the dog bed right there, that doesn't help because your money corner needs a live, growing plant or a water fountain that's flowing freely. So those are little things that I will help and give you pointers on things that you can naturally use to enhance your home and your life.
Fantastic. So these are just some ideas because everything is energy. So Marsha can assist you with multiple things on this. So that's a little bit more about Marsha. And then getting back to the intuition and the intuitive eye, how important is your intuition in anchoring who you are as a divine being?
It is 100% of who I am. Um, I've developed a relationship with God from a very, very early age, and I'm so grateful. However, I did not understand how to listen to his voice or to read into his direction and guidance until, later in life. So I started out actually by learning to meditate and learning to be quiet and being still. And in doing that, that has helped to sharpen my intuition. And as I've gotten older now, I realize that is key, that your intuition is always working. And if you listen, it will point you in the direction. And even though you might think sometimes things that are painful are actually blessings, because again, it tears down structures and foundations that no longer serve to get you on the right path to where you need to be. So your intuition is key, and that is what, you know drives me, guides me.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. And as you say, it helps, especially in the times when there seems to be more energetic discord or that. And again, as a planet, we are going through this right now. So it's actually even more vital for each of us to anchor into our intuition and to connect with those who are choosing the same path so that we can create together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
And something you say to me all the time is, this too shall pass. So
Yeah, this too shall pass,
yes.
yes. And sometimes the this too shall pass can take a few years, a few months, a few weeks, but having that as your mantra also helps you to maintain your peace.
Mm.
So during this time, having a positive affirmation, mantra, prayer that you can go to help you maintain your peace is also very powerful in this time.
Fantastic. And that's certainly needed, especially now.
Yeah.
And in knowing that this will pass and knowing that at some point, the whole planet will shift out of this energy and we will have something to look forward to. That was the question. What is on the horizon? What is the new horizon? Both for you personally and intuitively, what do you see is the new horizon for humanity?
So for humanity, what I see is the new horizon. Firstly, I sense that this process will extend until we as humanity get the message.
Yeah.
This is not a quick process because the cure is there. So that's the main thing that we need right now. It's not vaccinated. We need the cure. The cure is already there. However, it has not come into our existence as yet because we as a consciousness need to shift over. And so the longer we take as a group to do this, is the longer it takes for the cure to reveal itself. So we each have a responsibility to do our assessment, do our check-ins, and to be true to ourselves. And from then, things will start to open up. Otherwise, it will be another major catastrophe or gift, again, if we choose to not wake up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. And let's say we're actually on the cusp of this, that enough of us have actually chosen to choose again, to anchor into what we know is divine, to anchor into our intuition, to actually claim our power. What then is the new horizon? Once
So
we've done this as a consciousness, what's in front of us?
what's in front of us, I am intuitively sensing we won't know until we shift.
Hmm.
There's certain, I had a vision the other night where I was driving a car and I couldn't see, but I was driving. And then suddenly I got the clarity that I needed where I could see. And I woke up feeling so ecstatic because that is where we're at. We're driving in the dark, but until we surrender, submit, and get inside, then we won't start seeing. So in order to prepare, we cannot prepare for what we don't know, we don't see. So let's say, okay, a few of us shift. Those of us that have shift have a responsibility now to help the others to shift. So it is us who are supposed to hold space for the others that are coming, and we will be given the vision of what the new dimension is so that we're able. So out of this, we're going to see leadership rise up from places that we didn't even know about. People who we never heard about are going to rise up with a new message that the masses is going to be like, oh my God, we didn't know about this. We've never heard about this. But it's our responsibility to also be aware of the messages that are coming forward. And that's where intuition is very key, because there will be a lot of messages coming forward. But what is it that is true and wholesome for your highest good?
Yes. Yes. A lot of voices. And whose are you listening to? Are you listening to your own inner voice, which is your own inner compass?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So what would you say is on your new horizon personally?
On my new horizon, oh my gosh. Showing up, being true to my promise that, I just needed more time. And, as I am doing this time, I am spending more time with God, which I didn't get to spend as much time, and to hear what he has to tell me and show me during this time for others to see, hear, and also for those that are assigned to me to receive so they can get to their next level. So it's me being responsible and staying true to my word and showing up and
Mhm.
sharing my gift.
Mhm. Mhm. As you
Mhm.
said, that leadership, it's
Yeah.
all needed. And again, that scripture from Esther, you were born for such a time as this. Seriously, it's like a
Uh,
ticker tape in my head. I'm like, I get it. I get it.
it's comforting to me too that you had shared it, because every time this time I'm like, I'm strong. I know I was born for such a time as this. I can handle this. I got this.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
if you're here, if you're in this time, and if leadership has been something you know is part of your path, and maybe you haven't felt equipped or felt like you had the time or felt, who am I? All of those things, it's time to start taking those steps.
Yeah.
Um, the picture I get is when you take a step, then the ground rises to meet you, but it's not there
Yeah.
until you actually do so. So, as you said, we have the responsibility to
Yeah.
take ownership of this time and ownership of the possibilities and the potential that's here and
Mhm.
actually use it wisely.
Use it wisely. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, if there was one final thing that you could tell our listeners around leadership or around intuition or around any of the things that you've shared with us today, what gift do you want to share with people to leave them with?
Mm. The gift that I would want to leave with others is to know that you are not alone.
Mm.
There are others out there who care about you, who will miss you, who wants to see you prosper and grow and to be present to share this next dimension with. Reach out, you know, not just by social media, but pick the phone up, call, speak. We're not able to touch each other physically right now, but energetically, you are able to also do that. So send out your energetic love, energetic touch, and pick the phone up. Let others know that they let them hear your voice. Spend time also with yourself and appreciate the time that you have with your loved ones. Don't take the people that are around you for granted. You know, we are at home and we have to face our home life and the people that we're with. You know, now is the time to forgive and let go and start anew with right where you're at with the people that you're with right now and
Mm.
build those relationships.
Mm. Beautiful. It's something I heard the other day that forgiveness means forgiving light,
Mm-hmm.
forgiving light to yourself, forgiving light to the other person. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're being called to.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me, Marsha. Thank you for joining the intuitive eye, intuitive we, and for sharing your gifts with the world and stepping into the leadership, because we need you and we need everyone. So thank you for showing up with me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Mm. And as Marsha said, we are sending our energetic love to you, each of you, and may that continue to ripple out. And thank you for showing up for yourself and listening to this and engaging it and thinking about your own leadership and what's ready for you now. So sending you much love from the intuitive eye, and we will see you on another breakout session very soon. Aloha.